a bartender runs out of a bottle of liquor and you've ever seen them hitting the bottle like this, they are hitting the tax stamp.
That is just one of the ways that alcohol tax stamps get canceled. If you're my age, you remember these little stamps right here, which would fit around the top of a whiskey or liquor bottle, and then when you went to crack that bottle open, it would actually sever the stamp itself. You can see the remnants of that tax stamp on this little gin bottle right here. It still has the edges adhered on both sides, although the top of it that went over the top of the cap has since been removed when it was cracked open. This bottle also has a state tax stamp right here on the side, which oftentimes is the way you see state revenue tax stamps uncanceled, where they just assumed that it wasn't enough hassle to soak these stamps off of a bottle and reuse somewhere else. Federal agencies were much more stringent about canceling these stamps. Like on this bottle of wine right here from the 1900s. It has a federal tax stamp on the back of it that is canceled by something called a perfin. A perfin stands for perforated initials that were actually punched through the stamp at the factory before the stamp was applied to the bottle. The perfins on this stamp just hold a registration number and it says A140. It's much easier to read these perfins if they are off-piece, like this half-barrel beer tax stamp. When they're off-piece, you can actually turn them around and place them on a black background, which makes it much easier to read the perfin if you just snap a picture and then reverse the image. This one right here says GE72507, which again is some sort of internal control number used by the manufacturer. In addition to actually tearing those tax stamps or punching holes in them with a perfin, they also use different marking devices to cancel the same stamps. This example right here almost looks more like a postal cancel with a circular date stamp, whereas this one has a straight line given the date of June 1st, 1949. I particularly like this one right here that has this gigantic red indelible ink strike all the way through it, and most interestingly, this is actually not for an alcohol producer, this is for a chemical company, Union Carbide, that is now owned by Dow Chemical. And my favorite is probably this one right here, which paid the tax on an entire case, 48 bottles of distilled spirits from Kentucky. I love the fact that it says B. Kennedy at the top of it because of the famous Kennedy family, although I have no way to know if it's associated with them, and I would love to see the gigantic item that was used to cancel entire cases of alcohol like this.